One of the biggest disappointments of last season was that Matt Coronato couldn't keep a spot at the top flight. As one of the Flames' top young guns, many fans are hoping that he will stay with the team and make the opening night lineup this season, and then stay with the team for the whole season to continue his development. In a recent interview, Scoronato answered questions perfectly, and it has fans pretty pumped up. We're going to get into all of that and more, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, and let's hop in and talk about this. How Coronato has spoken out. As I said before, he did have a recent interview, and it was nice. It's nice to just hear some of the players talking. I know a lot of them are coming back to town recently. A lot of them have been in town for quite a while now. I know Michael Backlund is back in Calgary, which is always nice. It feels like the city of Calgary once Michael Backlund is here. El Capitano, of course. But let's hop in here. Oh, whoa, there it is. There's the article. This one comes from the Calgary Herald. It is written by Daniel Austin, and it'll kind of... The way I'm going to structure this one is I'll show what the article says, and then I'll show the quotes from Coronato, just to kind of set up what we're looking at here with this Coronato update. So Flames forward Coronato can't wait to get started on pivotal second pro season, and it truly is a pivotal one, just since last year did not go to plan. The Flames were ready for him to take it to the next level. He did make the opening night roster and then just couldn't really find a place in the lineup. Obviously, the lines got switched around on him quite a lot, like they did for essentially everyone other than Backlund, Coleman, and Mangiapane last year. But either way, this is a pivotal second season, and we're expecting a lot out of him, and I'm sure he's expecting a lot out of himself as well. So let's get into this one here. A year ago, the forward arrived at Calgary Flames training camp looking to make an immediate impact in his first season as a pro and flash the skill set that led to the team selecting him 13th overall in the 2021 NHL draft. Coronato made the Flames out of camp, but found himself bouncing between the NHL club and their AHL affiliate, the Calgary Wranglers, for most of this season. And honestly, it wasn't just he was up and then he was down. He came up and down quite a few times, which in a way can almost stunt the development even more. Let's continue. At 21 years old and with that experience under the belt, he seems primed for a breakout season, and he truly does. There's tons of opportunity. We're going to get into what our projected lineup looks like later in this video, but there should be opportunity for it. And there's every chance that will happen, but there's going to be a battle for playing time on the wing for the Flames, as that is the positions, I guess we can say, that we definitely have the most players right now. With the arrival of Anthony Mantha in free agency and the Flames already employing Coleman and Kuzmenko, the team's got a decent stock of right wingers. Coronato's skill isn't particularly well suited to a fourth line role, so what does he have to do to get into the mix? That kind of shows just how hard it might be to crack this lineup. In 34 games with the Flames last year, Coronato managed 3 goals and 6 assists while posting a minus 15. Yeah, not exactly the best there. His AHL numbers were considerably more impressive as he scored 15 goals and added 27 assists in 41 games, over a point per game with the Wranglers, while also being a +6. Way better. What is it with Flames prospects being miles better in the AHL than up in the NHL? You think of Dustin Wolf as well. Has Dustin Wolf been bad at the NHL level? No, but has he been, the absolute stalwart that he's been down for the Wranglers? No. Either way, I mean, it makes sense to do better in the AHL than in the NHL, but to not do great in the NHL and dominate the AHL, come on, there's got to be some sort of translation. But either way, let's read one more thing before we get into what Coronato said. So all of that was, again, in his first season as a pro, but his performances in the AHL do beg the question about how much good more time in that league will actually do it. It's like Wolf again. If he's proven he can do it all at the A, what can he really do? Would he not be best served playing day in and day out with the Flames? Of course he would. Coronato's going to have to earn that opportunity, and he knows it. The summer after a player's first year as a pro is always an important one, as they can focus their offseason training on areas where they need to improve in order to adapt to the NHL game. And Coronato, we know what he's really good at. He's got a good offensive side, pretty dang good hands, and a wicked shot. But there are other elements to his game that he really does need to improve on. Now, let's get into what he said himself. So the first quote here, I think I just need to focus on being the best version of myself, playing with confidence and trusting what I can do. That's really all I can do. And that's a quote there, of course, from Matty Scoronato himself. And what this one shows is just that it shows that, he needs to focus on just playing his game. I don't know what the exact question was for him to give this answer. I know he was at, I think, some sort of like Italian club golf tournament or something like that in the city. But either way, I don't exactly know what the exact question was, but either way, this quote here and his answer to that question is great. He needs to be the best version of himself and play with that confidence. Stick to your strengths. Obviously, he needs to work on some of maybe the things he's not as good at and needs to develop those areas, which the next quote will show. But this one shows keep it simple and good things will come. Now, if we get to what he may need to work on, definitely big focus for the summer is on his skating. So this is Matt Coronato on his skating here. Essentially, the question was, are you going to be working on your skating? So he said definitely big focus for the summer. There's still some time, so definitely still continuing to do things here over the next couple weeks, but I feel good about it. And skating is something that needs to improve for him. It's not exactly NHL elite level, and it's good to hear that he's been working on it. Still has some time. I mean, that doesn't make us seem... that doesn't make us as Flames fans feel totally great when as guys like, oh yeah, I'm working on it, but I still have time. It's like, oh yeah, we want to hear we've been really just honing in on it. But either way, he's still answering these perfectly. It's great to hear from him, and I know it has Flames fans pumped up. We'll look at one more quote here from Coronato. He said, going into my second year, I feel a lot more comfortable having real relationships with guys and staff, and then continue later on, said, I feel good this time around, and I've got a couple more weeks to gear up and get ready for it, which is totally true. He is in a better place than he was going into his rookie season. He knows the people better. He knows the city better. It's a lot more comfortable. He is in a better place. This is exactly what we wanted to hear. This is so perfect. But the next question that we need to ask is, will Coronato actually make the lineup right out of, training camp into the new season? And it's funny because these articles literally came out on the same day. But here we have Julian MacKenzie of The Athletic ask the question, will Matthew Coronato make the Calgary Flames roster projection 1.0? And I can imagine we're going to be looking at a lot of these roster projections over the next month or so, but it's just kind of funny timing. It's ironic that they came out at the same time. And I'm not going to go over the whole article, but it's interesting. Let's put it that way. So these are the projections that Julian MacKenzie gives first for the forward group. And you go through the list real quick. You do a quick scan. No Matt Coronato, which is very interesting. You look at the right wing side, obviously Mantha's there, Kuzmenko, Coleman, and then he has Ryan Lomberg in there, of course. We see Pelche over on the left wing over, maybe some of our other younger guys, and then Dryden Hunt as the extra. Obviously no Coronato, no Walker Dewar. There are some other names we could throw in there. But it's interesting, no Coronato. So to answer the question of the chapter of this video and the title of this article by MacKenzie, no, Coronato's not going to make the Flames right out of the gate. If we look at the quick description here, or justification, it doesn't even mention Coronato. I don't know why he titled his article this, but here we go. As illustrated above, there are many different combinations you could easily put together. Pelche is certainly a candidate for a third line spot with Backlund and Coleman. Sharkey doesn't have to play center. Zary or Pospisil could be center options too. Not that anyone was asking, but I have this sneaky suspicion we'll see more of Pospisil at center in camp than Zary. And I agree, after the World Championships, it makes sense. But I've settled on this for the Flames group. Combinations are subject to change though. So who knows? Maybe the projections will include Coronato at some point, but as of right now, he looks like one of the odd men out, which is too bad. I think he's going to have a really good camp. He had a great preseason last year where I think he was over a point per game in last year's preseason. If he does the same thing and he has a great training camp, I think he will be in the lineup once again. It'll just be a matter of who they do put him with. And hopefully they actually keep some lines together for more than, a period or two so that players can actually develop some chemistry. But we wish Matt Coronato the best, of course. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do. And this one is a doozy here. We love it. It comes from, I don't know how to fully say your name, I gotta be honest. I read it as T-Daddy Otis, but there could be a million different ways. But finally, T-Daddy Otis said, man, I'm really gonna miss Rick Ball, but I think the new announcer is gonna be good. And we completely agree with that. But why this is the comment of the day is because T-Daddy Otis finally had something to say. If you've been watching a bunch of the videos lately, this is the person who keeps saying, oh, day 1 of I don't know what to say, all the way until we reached, I think, day 17 of I don't know what to say. But we finally got day 1 of knowing what to say, and hopefully the streak can continue. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.